Hello.
Hello. Very chaotic last session, but we're all here. And
go ahead.
Yeah. We last left off mid-combat. Now we're back. And with all the emotions having a chance to kind of do a little bit of a reset, would anyone like to recap us on the last events of Harvest?
Well, you already kind of stole my thunder, because I was going to say that the last time on Harvest, we encountered the Leshy, whose heart we need to stole, and a lot of fuckery happened, and the forest is on fire. That's it. Give me my turn dice.
Whoa! You started off with a curse word. I thought we didn't do that.
I'm joking. That is very much apt. Huzzah! I'm yeeting over.
I'll do better. Yes, we faced off with. Sorry, there's a fucking poisonous spider on my bed. Give me like 2 seconds.
Kill it! Murder it with fiery cut.
To the outside.
Burn its soul asunder.
It's a brown recluse. I don't put those guys back outside.
Oh, yeah, brown recluses deserve to die on sight.
Oh, yeah, no, you put them in hell. You don't put them in the grass. The answer is simple.
I was on my bed. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. Okay, well, last time on Harvest, we encountered the Leshy in his domain of ruling. And after some very tense conversation, we found out that we needed his heart. And to start combat, the I want to say cleric, but it's not that, sorry. The Vicar invoked Martyr's Lament and caused a domino effect of aggression to spread throughout the woods. The woods came alive when the Leshy became aggressive and violent. The Leshy also was not fighting alone, as they had a wooden-like female dryad, that's right.
Indeed.
Wrapped around his shoulders, who could dart from tree to tree in an instant and turn invisible as she helped cast spells to support her Leshy. There was a lot of spells and stunning and charm from the Leshy and from the Dryad, which put our group into hard situations of not being able to do much until, with a couple of blows traded, until the Vicar laid down Sanctuary to negate a lot of these spells and allow for a few hits to be put in, until the Dryad fell. And when she fell, we found out that that was the Leshy's life partner. And now the Leshy is enraged, and with their enrage, they transformed into another being and cut us all down to just about like 20% of our health. To just about what's left of 20% of our health anyway. So now we are either stunned or shaken or taken on a wound facing this Leshy that is now enraged. And while fighting the Leshy, the Nameless One thought it a idea to light the Leshy's domain on fire. So now there is fire spreading around us, which is impeding the Leshy's healing ability, but it's also impeding our breathing. So, 1 for 1.
This is a very apt description of everything that did indeed happen. The area is, like you said, incredibly lush. There is dense foliage everywhere. And from the transformation, his form, as blackened as it was, it began to corrupt the area around him. Currently, right now, it is about to shift back to your turns. All of you guys, within a split second, you're able to gaze towards its direction. any form of brush that you're looking towards, it almost instantly clears the radius around him, almost decaying the plants at bay. Something is trying to keep them alive. They're trying to fight back, but you're seeing these things in a perpetual state of withering, this poisonous-esque sap like spewing within the air, smelling very fetid. Something is off. This thing is enraged. As you saw from the last session, it came close to you, and its mere presence started to decay your bodies. There's a foul presence, which is this creature. And with that, it is now your guys' turn. From what I remember, Amarin as well as Wyatt, after receiving a very detrimental hit, are currently staggered or frozen. I think the only people that can do anything at this point right now is Jacob for Warren and Esna with Chris.
Yeah.
I want to go on record saying I'll be damned if Esna is in the ground before Benedict.
I do want to say, what is your mental state right now, Esna?
They did crit on their last grit check.
That's true. So I think
That's fucking right! Holy shit!
And I believe, Ty, if I remember, you said they do not lose daunted for the rest of combat.
They're fucking dauntless. You're dauntless. Okay,
Yeah, I am. Righteousness is burning through my veins. Now with the prospect of knowing the power that I have over this town that is now teetering at the edge of damnation, with needing the heart of this creature that I wish I could have been friends with, but I can't be. I need to gouge it. There is so much at stake right now.
okay, so holy fuck. Okay, so you're gonna commit these ideals, these feelings which rush deep within you. The Maker. The Maker has influence in many different things. And as you know, he adores sacrifice as a form of proving. And most times, it is as if you yourself need to bring upon pain to open up your mind to his presence. Your deeds are acts to his nature. There is no deed more fervent and true than your purpose, which you are declaring right now. The purpose that is blazing within your mind, the deeds which you wish to enact, you are almost reaching out for something greater than yourself, and you find that something reaches back. Within a moment, Warren, she has a veil over her face, but you notice that there are these glowing eminences that are just releasing from her eyes. These circles that appear right behind the veil. Esna, you feel something towards your pouch, right beside you, down below. And as you look deep down, you feel a glowing sensation, a form of vibration, something telling you to grab me, use me. This feels of the Maker. You are unsure as to what, but it is calling for you, fervently.
Okay. I will fish whatever this is out of my pouch, fervently as well.
You grace the Flamboyo, and then pops out of boy. You reach in your pouch, and it's like your hand knows where to go. There's many different papers that are kind of like lushed into there. Maybe copies of Holy Scripture that you've written, maybe some discoveries that you found after pouring after page after page. There was one that has always kept with you. Stories have power, and you know this. There was a form of Holy Scripture that you came across that was so profound that you saw fit to keep it with you, something to evoke some higher sense of meaning behind the deeds that you deal in your daily lives. You reach within your pouch and you bring out a perfectly preserved, pristine piece of paper. Upon it lay the stories of man dating back well over 100 years ago. The evoking of these stories are said to bring in powerful forms of things into being of which you are not sure. However, anytime that you lay your eyes upon this, it reminds you of your faith to the Maker, and there is no better time as to what you're feeling. This is calling to be echoed. This is calling to be spewed forth to the heavens above in reverence to your dais.
Ooh. Manuscript.
You find the immaculate manuscript of celestial bodies. The immaculate hollowed manuscript of celestial bodies.
What
My
the
God.
fuck?
I've had this with me for a minute. I've just not known when to use it because it's immaculate. Well, if
You got very lucky on your initial rolls to obtain it. All vicars are able to obtain some initial manuscript that they carry. You got obscenely fucking lucky.
Well, if Warren's not gonna do anything first, instead of I would have wanted to heal everyone, but just seeing this Leshy heal itself for fucking I don't know how much health, a lot.
At least 60. At least 60.
We need 80 probably.
Probably.
Esna's going to take a stance at a distance from this Leshy, brandish the scroll, the manuscript, with almost like a declaration, with one hand holding the top and one hand holding the bottom, as they raise it up to the light shining through the trees and begin to speak aloud this story.
Okay. Shit. Okay. Okay, so you bring forth your manuscript, you raise forth towards the sky, your voice carries upon the wind. You guys, okay, so like Warren, you hear almost nothing initially. Yeah. But very clearly, after about maybe 5 seconds, you hear an imminence coming up from the heavens above. The clouds partly begin to part, and you hear this beckoning voice from up above. It is reminiscent of Esna. There's a perfect retelling in kind of this archaic Old English sort of a sense, talking about the greater rise of kingdoms in the name of the Maker itself, great deeds of noble heroes for the pursuits of humanity. This retelling, as it goes forth, you see Esna slowly begin to raise forth into the air, their eyes beginning to close. There is a holy pulse which begins to radiate, pushing out more and more and more, until you see from this pool of glowing white-hot energy 3 massive orbs emanating pure light, lifting in the sky. It is almost blinding. Are you wishing to send forth all 3 of these towards the Leshy?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There is a collision. First 1, then 2, very quickly 3. The Leshy is bombarded. You hear... The Leshy begins to cry towards the heavens, its blackened flesh beginning to turn a pale white. You see its form constrict as it falls to the ground. All of the... let me click on this. Delete.
No!
You're seeing... virtually a lot of the vegetation that is around it begins to dissolve, begins to decay. Anything that was blackened and corrupted by its form, you see even the plants begin to kind of shy away in this presence, as if it abhors what is currently going on. The Leshy reaches out towards this center of this whole entire map, and as things are beginning to burn away, you notice that there reveals an Ouroboros of bone. He extends a branch out to it. You see his body burning away. As he connects with this assortment of bones, you see the greenery around him try to grow back. But it isn't enough. Momentarily, for a couple of seconds, you see him kind of hold still. But as he begins to burn more and more and more, you see these bones beginning to melt away. Eventually, he is almost nothing. Esna, how would you like the last orb
Jesus.
to finish him off.
Maker's Light. Oh my god.
By the Maker!
Oh shit. This is about like Warren knows that Esna can do miracles. But this is probably the first time he's just like, okay, maybe the Maker's not full of bullshit. What the heck?
I will tell you, this attack, like, if it wasn't just scattered to 3, it would be able to just kill a whole entire building. Anything within it would just die. Like, it is obscenely potent.
And also for Warren, Warren's not seen Esna like this before because they've always had this bogged down energy and humbleness about them. Even when they went to save you, they still put themselves like below or on the same level as others. This is a whole nother side of Esna of just complete and utter like desire and confidence
yearning and
make this happen.
purpose.
Righteous fury.
Righteous fury.
God's wrath coming down.
The orbs, they're
Fuck.
creating themselves around me, right?
Yes, they are manifesting and flooding forth from this pool that is below you, floating right in front of you, ready to be commanded.
So I want the last orb, as it forms out of this pool underneath me, floats up behind me into the energy of my halo as it begins to emanate light just as the halo, and then it flies over my head and my veil and my hair wisping away with it as it runs towards, as it flickers towards the Ouroboros over the branchy arm of the Leshy and collides with its face. And as it does
Begins
so,
to burn the ground. Continue.
I whisper in the story, "I'm sorry, my friend."
The Leshy.
Make sure never to get Esna angry again.
Just jotting in a journal.
Yeah. Lytica, if you're around, remind me never to get her angry.
You find the Leshy, his body melts away into nothing. There is a blackened, tiny ball of fluid which now rests upon the ground, all the foliage completely dismantled around it, and the black fluid begins to melt. And as you kind of look, there is one thing kind of still raised from it, almost like a seed, an ever-beating wooden form of vegetation which now rests. It is kind of connected atop the ground, the grass ever trying to clutch onto it and hold it. But it remains there, right where the Leshy used to be.
Right. Where was that? Wait, Esna, where was that at? Could you have done that the entire time?
Esna comes down to the ground and sort of like almost stumbles as they find their footing.
Oh yeah, I'll run
heavy-
over you to stop you from stumbling if you're gonna fall.
Heavy breathing as they're surprised that they're still standing on their feet, and she'll look over to you and say, I've had that manuscript with me for some time, but I didn't know exactly what it was capable of. Here, I used Sanctuary to help you all, but in a moment of wrathful fury, I was so afraid that I would lose all of you and my town.
Well, remind me never to get you that angry again, because that's terrifying. Like, I know that I can be scary. You scared me. That's crazy.
How tall is Warren?
How tall am I? 5'11"? No, 5'10".
Okay.
5'10".
Okay, I was like, Esna's not tall. Esna's kind of on the small side. And just looks up at you and it's like,
You're a terrifying little thing. I'm glad to have you on our side. I'm glad that you're protecting the town. And I'm glad that I found you whenever I needed help.
It's by the Maker's guidance that I found this answer. Please, we need to help the other two and be sure they're okay.
Yeah. I don't know what we need to do to save the town. You talk to Framboise. You listen in closely. Let me go get the other two. You figure out what's going on.
Boy.
When Warren says that, Esna will point to the seed across the clearing and say, that will bring all of our crops back. That will stop the starvation. That will stop people from dying. That's what we needed. I was willing to lay my life down for it.
All right. Let me go pick up the other two. You protect the thing. I'm gonna go grab them. I'm gonna jump over this. Oh, is the tree gone?
Oh yeah, sorry, the tree is still there. But it's there. It's fire. Shit. Yeah, it's there. It's there.
The tree reappears as I jump over it.
Lead you into.
My knee! Jump over these two trees. They're there doing like a hurdle, showing off. Even though he's 35 years old, he's still athletic as shit.
Don't do a backflip, but you use it as an excuse.
Don't worry, I do a backflip. No, I do a side turner. All right, hey Boris, hey, how you doing? Come on up, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey,
And I'll crawl off my rock.
Oh yeah, get off the rock.
Warren, you're gonna notice that his flesh is paler than normal. Anytime that he moves, he'll reveal some areas under the little folds. Like you can kind of peer through the bush. There are some areas which are just highly reflecting forms of light. It is obscenely white to your eyes.
Damn, I know I'm pasty, but you ain't gotta hit me with that.
It's reflective. It's shining light back into my eyes.
He's a beacon of radiance.
Have I ever seen him like this before?
You wouldn't. No.
Boris, are you dying? Are you okay? What's going on? How can I help?
The violin music will kind of slow and stop as he understands that everything's coming to an end, and he looks down. You see the eye stalks kind of peering over his skin, and he says, "Mr. Warren, I don't feel so good."
Don't do that.
Shut up.
Yeah, you don't look so good either. How do I help you right now?
Little fleshy tentacles will kind of like come out of the color, like the colorful portion of his flesh, and like poke and prod at the white part. Ty, what's it feel like?
So what you feel is a form of rigidity. Those sections of your body which are kind of just sealed off, it is as like they're almost like dead flesh. You could still kind of budge them a little bit, but it feels hampered. You don't feel this kind of spreading per se, but everything about you feels odd. As limiting as like the flu or a virus. Something is affecting you to your core and you feel it as a virus.
Oh, real quick, do we feel like we still have the Black Plague?
Oh yeah, sorry. The Black Plague is alleviated.
Oh God! Sorry, I just felt like some Black Death was in my. Some like death was in my red. Just spit up fucking black ick, like not ichor, but just like a phlegm.
You guys cough a little bit every now, like there'll be a black kind of slug, very Ghibli-esque, that will just flop onto the ground and dissolve into the dirt.
I'm gonna stomp it.
You stomp it. It's bad luck. Quickly spin around. Cut your hands into.
Alright.
Don't throw up in the bush. I know it's normal to aim for the bushes. Don't throw up in the bush.
It's right there though.
It's like when it gets on my hand, I fling it off and then I stomp on it with my little hooves, and so it's just like.
All right. How do I help you, Boris?
I don't know. It feels like it's inside of me.
Are you hungry? Are you?
I could go
Sick?
for a snack, but
Okay.
no, I don't think that's what's causing this.
Could I? The best person probably would be to ask fucking we. But we have to get back to town. I don't know how we're gonna get back to fucking town, so that's a problem. Huh? I'm gonna go ahead. Here, go ahead and get on. How big is Boris? Moya, how big are you?
Boris is a good-sized bush, but he's not that heavy. He's about 150 grav.
Okay, that's too much. Okay. Not that heavy.
The bush adds a lot of size. He's a skinny bloom. I mean, they can start off all the way up to 400.
Yeah. You are in a party of thin-armed gentlemen and women.
So, what you guys could do, should you wish to lift another person and you can't, there is a mechanic called lift together. You have your burden capacity, that's as much as you can carry. You add these pools together. If the weight exceeds the total mass of everybody lifting, then based on how much it creeps over, let's say for every 10 that it gets over the combined burden capacity, I will add a +1 to the grit contest. It's a normal grit contest to keep pulling or lifting, but if you were to fail that, then you might take a little bit of damage just from the strain of pulling. But
dragging.
Yeah, like with two people, it's 180 BC, generally speaking.
Is it easier to drag something instead of?
I want to say that it might be. I think it's reduced by like 50%, but I don't know if it has to have like a wheel or something to ease the traversal.
Like it has a slot, like a jacket underneath it.
Yeah.
Or
you
can slot there, huh?
Yeah, leverage. I'll let you reduce the burden capacity by 50% if you do that.
All right. I'm gonna. I know the cloak's on me. I can take off the jacket I had on beforehand, correct?
The jacket or the cloak?
The jacket.
Yeah.
The cloak's around it. I don't know the jacket I can take off or not.
It's grabbing on your arms and your body, but like as soon as you try to do so, you find that with the amount of time some areas have loosened, the neck is still very much gripped. Your shoulders very much are too, but you find that as you're kind of pulling things off, the hands begin to loosen and pry their fingers open, ever curling like they're kind of just, I don't know what that hand motion is called, like tickling fingers almost, just
grasping.
Yeah.
I'll put the jacket on the ground, and then I will motion to Boris to get onto it while I go look at the nameless one and see if they're okay.
I'll lift up the bush, and you can see the two spindly legs that are underneath it. And I'll kind of take one step onto the jacket, and then another, and I'll do like a little dog circle around the jacket, and the bush descends onto it.
I fucking love the idea that the bush is like a dress that you just pick up. Like
Exactly.
I'm going over to the nameless one to see if they're okay. So how's the nameless one doing? How are they looking? Are you okay?
The nameless one kind of like points to themselves. They kind of signal, like they have a lot of injuries on them, and they're signaling like their whole entire body, just all over the place. However, they do give you the thumbs up, right? Even though they're hurt, they're okay, right? And then they point towards the fire. And
yeah, there's fire.
They look back at you at the sound of blood, and they just kind of nod.
Okay, yeah. Where's the blood on you? Because you got blood on your person, right?
Yeah.
So where's the blood?
They'll pull it out of a little pouch that they have on their side and just kind of chug it, and then point back at the fire.
Well, it looks like the fire's subsiding. It looks like slowly, but it's getting smaller.
It's still spreading, but because I can't remove that one green circle, but the connective forms of foliage are beginning to decay, so the areas of stone are beginning to kind of push through. The fire is kind of just remaining on areas of vegetation and not the stone. However, you find that the grass is kind of fluctuating from like liveliness to deadness to liveliness to deadness. It is ever still gripping upon the seed.
Okay. All right. Could you help me out getting Boris out of here? We're gonna drag him real quick with my jacket to get him out of here so we can get back to town and figure out what's going on with Wee.
The nameless one just kind of shrugs and then nods.
Right. Cool. Awesome. Alright. I'll step around and I'll go and grab one of the sleeves of the jacket so that we can drag Boris with us.
Actually, can I roll a... The nameless one is trying to build a stretcher. Using their... Yeah.
Oh, that is contrive. Okay, so that would definitely be an intelligence contest plus your contrive modifier. Okay, so you gather up a bunch of sticks. Most of these seem to be twigs, too late for you to realize, as you're gathering up straps of grass that you think might be thick enough to hold. They look very frayed, actually. You begin to kind of tie and kind of meld things together. Very quickly, as soon as you pull, the whole thing unravels and falls apart.
That I don't know what you were trying to do, but grab the other side. Actually, are you strong, nameless one? How strong are you? Like, how much can you lift?
The nameless one just kind of shrugs.
None.
The nameless one just kind of shrugs, and then like they hold out their arms and then kind of like give a points to Boris and then gives a thumbs up.
Okay.
A little tendril will come out and a thumb will appear on the top of the tendril.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I was gonna say if you're stronger than me, I could tie my shovel to my jacket to make it so that it could be easier for us to push or for you to push. But if not, then we'll just have to. Then we'll just do it together.
The nameless one points at Warren and then nods and gives 2 thumbs up and then points at their shovel.
Okay. I'll tie my jacket sleeves to the shovel to make it easier for us to move instead of pulling per sleeve and fucking us over. I do, Ty, as a human, have a +1 modifier to trail find. I think I would like to try to trail find to get us out of here.
Go forth. Roll me a trail find, my good sir.
Okay, so discernment plus survival.
Plus your survival and your person bonus.
Okay. Discernment 2 plus
if I'm not
1d4.
Taking that
As not,
count 2.
should you ever try to mentally dive into what your friends are doing and asking, I will give you something. But until that happens,
Let me pick up the seed and tell me what happens.
2. Okay, before that, Warren, you are familiar with woods. You seem to be in one.
That's great.
You best be believing in woods. Yeah,
Seems to be a wooded area.
Wasn't it established that we're like ridiculously far away from the town already?
I was about to say. Yes!
Absolutely.
So, should you turn your mind to it, Esna, with your high discernment? You probably will recall that the Leshy said to you that you guys are 100,000 miles away from any form of human civilization. The best path to pull would probably be on solid ground, as you are in dense forms of wood/jungle, and there are very sharp forms of vegetation, wooden types of things that will dig into your feet, dig into your body, cause excess forms of damage, atop of many other things that lurk on the ground that could bite as you're dragging him. So it's probably best that you seek him out of the brush. You said you wanted to pick up the seed?
Yeah.
All of you died. No, I'm joking. You reach
Make character
towards
2 coming in.
That would be funny as fuck.
Fuck. We're
Yeah?
not taking any chances. Can I roll to see if it's safe to pick up the seed?
Sure. I'll let you roll what you want. Whatever you think is best, I'll give you the interpretation
Fucking
from that.
Discernment.
You shall succeed automatically. This is privy. So, yep, this will be okay. So, you know extensively about things that live in the wood. Not too much, but just enough from what the church has said. The church often, very much times, is in accordance with the Scholars of Assurance. They'll hear things about little beasties that kind of exist out there. You don't know much about the Leshy necessarily, but normally once creatures have kind of passed, they might leave remnants or but these things they can be seen as relics. Most of the time they are inert. They won't necessarily cause harm, though there are a lot of creatures that if they leave something behind, be it an object, be it a portion of their body, it could very well destroy a whole civilization. It could very well kill you, like a cancer. Who's to say? The Leshy, from what you recall, did say that his life force, the heart, is what allows this whole entire forest to persist. If you remove this, you're most likely going to be killing something massive in the process, but you will have a substantial form of power to restore a whole entire forest. You don't think that it's necessarily going to be too threatening to you. If something wanted to stop you, they kind of missed their chance. Seems like the Leshy did, and the Dryad did, but they lost in the process.
Yeah. My fingers are gonna hesitate over this seed as I realize the probably catastrophic death that I'm about to cause just picking it up. And for a moment, Isna will look to the woods around them and just listen and appreciate it. And probably hear the conversation going on with the others about getting out of here.
No, we have to go that way, not this way. That way.
The nameless one is gonna point in another direction and just be like,
No.
and the nameless one is insistent,
No. This way.
4 tendrils point in 4 different directions out of the bush.
Boris, you're not helping.
Warren, could you please come grace me with your presence for a moment?
Yeah, I'm coming. Yes, yeah. All right, we'll figure out where we're going in a second. I'll rush over to Esna. What's up? What's going on?
Esna's looking sorrowfully down at the seed and the fire. And just says quietly to Warren, "This is everything we need to save the town, but when I pick it up, the whole forest may die, and I just don't want to do that alone."
Do you want me to pick it up?
It would be of your domain, I guess.
I mean, I deal with death every day, so I think it is part of my domain.
She looks up at you and with a more pitiful face that you recognize, and just kind of says, "I can pick it up with you."
No.
And takes your hand.
Okay, hey, you don't have to pick it up. I can do this. If
I just shake my head and I say, I need to do this. I was the one that brought us here.
Okay. All right. I'll start reaching down with your hand behind my hand, or grab my hand. Just like, all right, this is it. I'll grab the seed and take it off from the ground.
Watch nothing happen.
Everything's still alive. It's not left.
You find that as soon as you clasp your hands together, ready to pick this thing up, there's a resistance. The grass, the flowers that are around it, they are holding on for dear life. As you see them slowly start to break, the residual kind of vegetation around those clumpings of life begin to decay, the flowers re-strengthening, coming back even stronger, the roots kind of growing up on it like vines, you trying to breach forth, and eventually, with enough time, you rip it forth. You hear a pulse that happens. You see, eventually, the pulse that happens. Every single one weakening the surrounding vegetation. Within probably just a couple moments, 6 seconds, 15, 30, everything begins to die. The things supporting the fire begin to die. Though I can't display it, imagine literally everything that you see as green begin to blacken and wither, and within probably a mile's radiance, kind of like a shockwave, trees en masse falling down flat. Eventually, you have a barren landscape as far as the eye can see beyond the horizon. You hear a cacophony of screams, probably well over a couple million. I do not say this to make you sad, but with this action, you have killed probably 20, 30, 40,000 miles of vegetation, and you have committed genocide to certain species of creatures. Every form of vegetation has withered into nothing. You are standing upon blackened soil that stretches on for miles in every direction.
Tears are going to start rolling down Esna's face and dripping off of their chin as they slowly begin to cry quietly and look around and sort of mumble something to the maker of, have I not sacrificed enough?
Seeing the tears, Warren will give a hug, putting like, not pushing, but like putting their hand on the back of your head to like put your head into their chest so you don't look around and see anything more and just hear something alive if you want.
Oh.
It helps.
You will notice that the only remnants to show that there was any forest here are the small husks of trees. Almost like they're petrified, these white ashen husks which stick out of the blackened earth.
And Boris.
And Boris. Which
Boris
seems to be the only, he's the only bit of green in this whole entire place. Although white underneath, bleached.
Yeah.
While
The Albion
he pressed
coast.
to Warren's chest, I'm going to hold the seed close to my chest
Yeah.
and just say I'm sorry over and over again.
Are there rocks that are like nice and flat or like look like they can be stood up?
I mean, once this is revealed, you notice that there is like, I wouldn't call it like, it's not a ziggurat or anything, but like there's like this elongated, flattened complex. This was, I don't want to say burial ground, I don't want to say like a structure that was necessarily made, but like this is a large, flat, like stone structure dedicated to something. You find that the spires that are here run deeper than they should. You find that there are complex rocks that just kind of like surround, and the area that you sit on are just flat chiseled rocks with patterns upon it.
Okay. I like to find like 2 big stones, like enough to look like a gravestone.
You will go over here and notice that beside this rock there is a chipped form of stone which was held up by like a couple of roots that was growing up in between, but ever since the withering kind of collapsed over. It is a large rectangular prism-esque structure that you can use suitably for this.
I would like to set up a gravestone for the Leshy and the Dryad. I can't. It's unfortunate that I can't write.
And Sylvan.
Yeah, I can't write into anything.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, you don't have literacy.
I can. You can
Yeah.
call me to do it.
Hey, Isna. Could you could you come over here and put something on this here rock?
What?
I can't write, but I need to. I like to mark this place as the resting place of the Leshy and his wife. It's the least I can do as a grave digger. I can give him a grave.
Oh, Warren, you're so sweet.
I'm just doing the job.
You could collect the dead flowers, maybe the husk of trees to lay around their graves while I write.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I'll go around gathering dead things and placing them around and because I'm not gonna dig, but I'll put it around like what a grave would be. So like in a pattern of like a rectangle or close to like an oval where they would be buried.
What are you rolling?
Don't worry about it.
I don't know. Me too.
I don't roll anything.
Okay. But then we need to get out of here as soon as we get that done.
Yeah, no kidding.
I will say the
yeah.
thing that you just did will give you good fortune. I won't say in what sense, but what you guys have committed could be one of the greatest crimes upon the Fae. You're kind of easing that burden as we speak.
Cool.
That roll is for interesting things.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, I had a feeling. I was sent here by a witch from the Fey realms. I just destroyed an entire forest when I said I wanted to save vegetation. But she probably knew that I was going to kill a whole forest to save more vegetation. And so, yeah, and also being of Fey and still trying to accept that, things are very bad for me right now. Lays that down. Esna will be looking up to the clouds and thanking the Maker, and also apologizing for any doubt that she may have said in the Maker's direction in the wake of this genocide. And when that's done...
Do you say genocide?
No.
Okay. Okay. What word do you use?
Specifically not that one.
I'm sorry for having...
Scanning for heresy.
I'm sorry for having questioned any sacrifice made. I will continue to sacrifice in your name.
You'll feel a warm glow on you.
Now, Ty, I know they're not party members. I did give them a grave.
You did.
Do we get a morality?
Yes, you do, and Esna does. Increase your morality by plus
no, Ty,
1.
it says grant the party plus 3 morality. Or plus 1 morality.
Graveyard! You're right! Yes!
Ty, thank you for the grave diggers.
Everybody gets, plus 3 morality?
No. So let's if they're a party member.
Okay.
If they're a party member,
This?
that's plus 3. That's why I was asking you if you can get plus 1 instead. They're not a party member. Damn.
Oh no, not to you. You were asking if you could deny this. It's something passive that happens to you. It just happens. As for Jacob, what was your question again? Sorry.
They're not a party member, so I was wondering if we could get plus 1 because of it. But if we can't, then that's fine. Yes,
that would act. I would very much count this as a graveyard, and what you just did is give the final funeral rites. So your background or your vice of graveyard would be activated in this moment.
Cool.
Could I? That's awesome. First of all, when I'm done focusing on the maker, could I unveil myself? Can I feel that it's would be okay with me to unveil myself before this grave?
You feel that there wouldn't be too much of an issue to.
Okay. Alright, I'm going to, now that I've addressed the maker, I'm going to address the graves and unveil myself so that way I can more present myself as a fae in front of these two graves, and I will cut one of the braids off of my hair. And lay it down on the graves.
Damn, look at that. Okay. A lot of shit happening.
Boris will see everyone. Oh, go ahead. Do this first.
The hair that you have laid down begins to sink into the soil. Go on, Boris.
Seeing that everyone's kind of laying something down, he'll reach deep into the bush and probably take a point of damage as he pulls one of the heart stems from his bush, and a tendril will kind of snake out across the ground and lay it where the others have laid their offerings.
All right. I'm glad that we're all feeling emotions here. We do need to get back. We don't know how long we've been gone, but we need to get back because we have a time limit on a lot of things. So I will complete these burial rites and be right with you guys. Yes, what is up, Esna?
We've been gone a day. I had to lament to the maker again. We've been gone a whole day.
We have a day, less than a day more than likely, to get back before stuff happens.
It's more complicated than that, I'm afraid.
Okay.
The Leshy told us that we are hundreds, if not thousands of miles from any civilization.
Okay, yeah, that's... How the hell are we going to get back?
Finish the grave rites and the funeral rites, and we'll figure that out.
All right, I shall do so. And then going over towards the graves that we've done, he will take out... Did Lydica have... Did I have a thing for Lydica? Like an actual, like, just pendant, necklace, or symbol of some kind?
Do you want a token?
I mean, I technically have my covetous locket. So I don't know if I could use that, but I didn't know if I had something or to do the burial rites for Lydica.
Nothing official, unless you wanted to join something personal for that thing. If you wanted to use your covetous locket as a memento for that occasion, then you may. Over the course of time, it would have gained significance in that regard, but generally speaking, your word's enough. The right of story, the right of word is enough to do many things.
Okay. Yeah, well, mostly because I didn't know that Lydica was actually doing things until recently, so I didn't really have any. So, I'll walk over to the graves and perform the final burial rite of Lady Lydica, Mother of Crows. Take these travelers into your flock and guide them into the yawning grave, where they may rest and relax from their mortal coil.
You feel nothing.
Yep.
Once he hears that, Boris is going to be looking around very intently.
There is no crows. Boris, to you, I don't want to say that the veil is weakened. You can still kind of see a tent, but there's no spirits that you could necessarily see this far out. Even when the Leshy was around, you're not sure why. But upon your call, there doesn't seem to be anything lingering around that gives any as evidence to the idea that something is occurring. Your words ring hollow, and you feel this in your soul, Warren.
I've done what I've done. I can't do much more. All right. I have performed the final rites. We need to try to get back to Roth as fast as possible. I know we're hundreds of thousands of miles out, but there has to be some way. We got here within a day. We have to be able to get back just as quick.
The nameless one thinks of the house. I would like to roll a discernment for that.
Roll your discernment.
I guess I'll roll 2 because, I brought us here.
1, 2, 3, 4. Why? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry. God damn it.
What are you trying to seek?
Will the house bring us back?
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to share that. I couldn't say. So, like, even if you were to use a charm proficiency or a critical success, I can allow you to critically succeed in the things that you would know. Some things are beyond your comprehension. Some things you just can't flat out know unless you have access to higher forms of knowledge. This is the limits of your capability. You've never really interacted too much with the Fey realm. That was probably your first time in doing so. Even if you've heard stories, this is one of the most archaic forms of beings within the Fey realm. You have no clue. The most that you can know is that it brought you here, quote unquote, it brought you here. You could either just look at it, you honestly could just look at it as like a door. Like, this is somewhere where you'll end up, but you can't necessarily climb back up through the spout necessarily. You walked back in the house. You saw nothing. Then again, you guys walked around a tree trunk and kind of appeared to the Feywild. So who's to say what could bring you back? It is an anchor of some kind. That's all you can glean. That's all I can tell you.
What if I also used a page with that?
What page?
So you know how Library Vice gives you pages?
Yeah, you can use a page. You're gonna burn one of those?
Oh, no, this is a really, oh god, do I want to burn one? Oh no. But it would give us all the answers that we needed if I did burn one. But, oh shit. It's like, I wanted to use the pages for, like,
This
really,
would be a page that would exist within Cognitionis somewhere on the higher floor.
Oh, okay.
Like floor 2 or 3. Like, this is going to be an obscure, esoteric, rare form of knowledge that somehow paradoxically ended up upon the mortal coil and in your hands.
So technically speaking, what you're saying is I couldn't use a page?
You can use the page.
Oh god. But that
You can select what pages you have. Like,
that would eliminate one of my pages though.
yeah. That's the consequences of using the page.
No, but oh no, this is a hard decision. Because I could use a page and then like okay, I could use a page and we can solve all of our problems right now.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Yeah. Shit. I think
Esna, you rolled a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What would you like to know, my friend?
I'm gonna use a page.
Easy.
Same roll. How the fuck do we get back? And is it going to be the Fey realm? Because,
You know that it has to be the Fey realm. The being that you interacted with, this is a disprivy, charm proficiency. That is going to tell you that you have arrived here by a being that can control time and space and the Fey realm specifically. There is no way to navigate the Fey realm without potentially losing hundreds of years going back in time. Like, who's to fucking say? This is the only creature that has any amount of control over a guaranteed destination. You guys got lucky with only losing a single day. It is not going to end up that way if you go through again, unless you have something that is able to control that time slipping, along with the location of where you end up. you have to revisit the Lady of the Oldest House. You know that anytime that you enter a wood, you have the chance of potentially teleporting. You feel that innately. However, the last time that you interacted with something like a fey circle, which is like a circle of mushrooms, creatures that dance ever circling into a circle, often sprout these things. This is kind of like a pseudo portal into the fey realm. Equally, there's a lot of different ways that you can enter the Fey realm. You may not necessarily know them by heart, but you have an inkling as to where they might be just by connection alone. If you would like to try to source this, and you rolled a 5, I can tell you the general location, and then from there, it's up for you to try to interact to see if you can slip back into the Fey realm.
Yeah, give me a general location.
There is a strong
area.
There is a strong eminence over here.
Okay. I have a follow-up question, and tell me what I need to roll to do this.
Okay.
So I'm wise enough to know that returning to her means I owe her a great debt. Is there any way that there's a soul I can take with me from here?
No.
Is there anything left? Fuck.
Well, I mean, there's Warren, and there's also the nameless one. There's Boris.
Fuck, no. Oh, no.
If you want to slaughter your friends in the process. No, I'll give you this. So, it was on purpose that you were sent here. You didn't specify exactly where you wanted to go. You had a general goal. You trusted her way too much. She gave you what you desired, a way to cleanse your town, to heal it. However, the means that she took you to was located well outside of any possible way to get back. So, within time. So, she is waiting for you, whether she might act like it or not, for you to arrive. And when you do arrive, you won't have what you promised her. Which is a soul of man or a soul of a child, and you'll be held lacking. What her cost will be is anyone's guess, but you have technically entered a game unbeknownst to you within the Fae, and you have failed. And this is kind of a coming to.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, so I did fuck that up.
we do need to give a mortal soul if we see her again. Next time you enter, she deserves a soul. Enter her house. So even if you don't go to the Fey realm, right? If you enter one of her houses, she still deserves a soul. So it doesn't even, yeah. Oh man, yeah, that's actually kind of cool. All right. All right. Yeah, no, because if you enter one of her houses and you don't even go to her realm, you still have to offer a soul.
Okay. All right. Reflecting on
Not
this as
the worst thing to be indebted to a Fae, but she is the only means that for you getting back.
To be fair, she gave me a very, very high price back, so...
Oh, this is one of the rarest items probably the Fae could give you.
Yeah, so Esna's kind of like, you know what? You know what? Maybe I will take the L. Esna's going to look towards the group and say...
I will also say, she tricked you on this. It's very clear. These types of Arch-Fae have even higher goals. This isn't probably one of the ends. Like, if this works, which seems very compelling that it will, because you have no other way to get back unless it's through her. And if you do get back, there's no way that you'll get back in time. There is a greater thing going on, and this is probably some small subsect of it. She's playing some form of larger game. You can almost guarantee it.
So she's used me as a pawn in something. I don't know what it is.
Yes.
She probably wanted the lesson to be gone.
Shall select the least mission essential troop.
There's probably, I mean, in all honesty, like I don't want to lead you into conspiracy theories. It's like she plotted things so that you would guaranteed eventually visit her. So no. Like,
Yeah.
maybe, probably not. I don't know. Could be. I don't know. Probably not. But
maybe. Probably not. But maybe.
There is some greater thing at play here.
Okay. After some reflection.
But I will say, on that note, if you are able to glean that, the next logical conclusion is that she probably wants you alive. If there is a cost, it doesn't involve your collective deaths. To some extent, you might seem too important to kill at this very second. So that's
the only leverage we have.
That is the only leverage. It's speculative, but if that train of thought is correct, then... Because she could have just sent you somewhere by accident, which is also not logical because she could control where you end up, and when.
Yeah, it was like she controls time. I don't think it's an accident. Yeah, I will turn towards the group after I have been done mourning, with my face still unveiled, and I will reiterate my thought process of the only way back is to find the house again and to talk to the ancient witch. I will tell them my thought process this time, that I need you all to be as careful and as delicate as you can, because I see now that although she has paid my request in full, she's left me with my hands tied to face her again with a debt that I cannot pay at this time. And so I will explain to them about how I don't want them to pay my debt, because there's a chance that, especially with all of us being wayfarers, that she wants a greater debt from us, to do more for her, and that I can only speculate, but she is the best chance that I can think of at this time.
So I will answer Josh's question, or Josh's statement. You will burn a page. One of your legendary sources of information that you somehow came across that now resides upon your person is a snippet from a book called The Conglomerations of Notions Concerning That Which Lies Within the Fae. This page specifically is about the Lady of the Oldest House, more specifically how her house works. It talks about the mechanics, most of which completely fly over your head. It's almost incomprehensible. But what you are able to easily figure out is that the houses which quote unquote end up are anchors. They exist across all of causality, be it on this plane of existence, on another plane of existence, on tangential realities where there's a different planet like entirely. It is spread everywhere, like a root system, never able to be extinguished. It is something which was birthed since the creation of the celestial framework itself. This thing grips to... It's almost like it's everywhere at once, and I mean that quite literally. One step over, 2 steps to the left, 3 steps to the right. However, perceivably within your 3-dimensional space, you can only localize it to one specific location. The reason as to why it takes a form of a home, most people collectively within the new sphere have kind of given an idea of sanctuary, of home, of respite to the embodiment of a house. Your mind is spewing forth the only shape which can comprise this strange metaphysical form, and it is in the form of a house. You came here through that anchor to the Fey realm. It is not I will let you know this. A little bit of a nod. This is partially eldritch. This is very weird. There's something that ties the idea of horrors and the eldritch nature of certain creatures and entities to the realm of the Fae. This creature isn't wholly Fae. It is something beyond Fae. And you can, quote unquote, enter back into the realm of the Fae through this thing. More specifically, these houses can only take you back to the root, the core structure of all of its branches, which is the oldest house, to meet her. However, you can only enter if she allows it. Other methods, like walking around a tree, moving a little bit too far left or to the right, that can get you to the Fey realm. Sleeping in a mushroom circle, stuff like that, that can take you there. You can be spirited away a bunch of different means. This is a very specific, tailored way, but it is highly unstable. You saw it briefly as it was glitching in and out of existence, its multitudinous arms grabbing into the ground. This house is her. She is everywhere. That facsimile that you saw that was a representation of her standing in front of the house, that is not a normal lady. That is no lady. That is no Fae. This structure is a facet of her. It is like a fingernail, not even.
Is there a way that the Nameless One can deem if offering a greater offering, meeting her the second time, will satiate her need?
You have nothing that you could potentially probably offer a being like this. I will be completely honest.
Okay.
I have
it's
another
stone.
question when he's done.
Yes.
Shit. But I do know how to get back. Yep.
All I have is I told you guys to not offer up your souls. That this seems this feels planned. I will reiterate as Esna that there is clearly something bigger going on here that she wants, and we should hear out her demands before making any rash decisions. As I look at the Nameless One.
This is your circus. I trust you.
Does anyone have anything else to say before we go to the circle?
Like I said, this is your circus. I trust you explicitly through this.
The eminence is strong, flickering, but it is over here.
All right, I guess we go to the circle.
Let's move.
As soon as you arrive, you find that the signal disappears.
Oh no.
Something seems to have closed off the gateway.
Dragon Boris.
Warren, are you okay over there?
I'm dragging Boris around.
You're dragging him the wrong way.
All my
back
leaves
it
are
right.
ruffled out.
All right, right here. How do we get in? Drenched in sweat.
What are we looking at, Ty? What's here? What's the circle?
There is a tiny totem. There's a totem, what was kind of like a mini tiny hill. There was like a little bit of like rock that moss would probably grow over. You see it's kind of conducive with a damp environment to have a tiny little mound. It seems to be kind of withered. The totem would seem to be of representation of like a fairy or something of some kind, what people traditionally would kind of sculpt into fairy icons. Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna put away the Leshy heart somewhere deep in my pouch and knock at the feet of the fairy totem only twice this time. And say, I know you want to see us again. Oh no, I will say, I know you are expecting us, and then knock twice.
There is a rattling. You see the fairy totem kind of shake a little bit, stop, and then kind of like it has a weight shift of its own. You see it kind of move around again. There is a blow of wind which kind of moves around your ears. And then before it wraps around your head, before just kind of like streaming towards this direction, you feel like a gust kind of pulling you back to where you guys came.
You know the way. Come, My house is open to you.
Okay, where's the gust going?
It is leading back from the direction that you came. Perceivably, with your discs, it's wanting you to go to the house. She's blocking off this port to the Fey realm, closing off all access.
Of course she is.
Are we going through this area?
I'll turn around and say, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to drag him in that direction again as I walk.
Turn around, just dragging him.
The nameless one is dragging because like they have that strength.
As I alternate.
Yeah.
Everyone feel free to place your tokens down. Ever see Monster House?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Remember how that house just
one of the
began to
best
creak and
films.
shift?
Yeah.
Oh, it was good. It had no reason to be that good, dude.
Oh yeah. No means.
There's no old man, but this house is very animated, I will tell you that.
Monster House is so fucking sad though.
Yeah! I didn't expect to fucking cry for that old bastard, dude. He was so angry, but he just had so much hurt.
I mean,
He's
as
Warren.
an adult, I get closer and closer to him every day.
Right, dude. Oh my god, I hate SpongeBob now. I love Squidward. I understand him to my core.
I understand Squidward. It doesn't mean I hate SpongeBob though.
No, dude, if you had a neighbor like SpongeBob next to you every single day, my perception of him changed. I love SpongeBob. He's hilarious, but like small
If I had
doses.
a neighbor like SpongeBob like him every single day, there would be days that I would be Squidward, but majority of the time, I probably would be.
Never mind. It's a 90 birding capacity, but it's split between the two of us. So
Okay, yeah.
Since so it should be fine because we're both carrying, right?
Yeah,
Dragon.
lift together would turn it into 180 at minimum.
Yeah.
I mean, we're also getting rid of 50% because we're dragon.
Dragging these nuts on your chin.
Yep. So yeah, it's perfectly fine. We will do perfectly fine carrying.
Jacob.
Jacob!
I had to leave.
Oh,
I had to leave because I got owned so seriously right there.
I burned so hard he blinked out of existence. The joke was totally rad. So rad.
The joke was too funny.
It's taken Warren's soul, so.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're good. We're
So
good.
take my soul.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, kind of like
Yeah.
you see this veil, this thing which previously was evading most people's sixth senses. It's down. You guys see these ever-shifting, non-Euclidean arms which are gripping into the earth, the house kind of teleporting back and forth, these hands kind of like morphing together and then stretching apart, the house kind of standing up and then sinking back into the earth, the roofing, the tiles, the wood crooked, the wood board, all of them just kind of flaying out like a spider of sorts. It is a sight to see.
I asked for the Encanto in Encanto the movie.
Oh, yeah?
I was asking for that house and not Monster House, okay?
I'd say you would get Encanto if this thing was if she really liked you and wanted to paint you an illusion, that would be Encanto. This is the dark story of Encanto. You see the door slam open, the interior, the long hallway to get towards the living room, just gnashing teeth adjoined to the wall. This purple magenta mass just kind of like inked on every single surface. This looks like the interior of just a creature that just has many different stomachs. And as you see its mouth open, you see this kind of white door just kind of start to form. This spiral-esque form of energy which kind of turns into a gateway, a portal of sorts.
I'm gonna stand there and see if anything grabs me. I'm just gonna stand right there before I even enter the house.
The nameless one is gonna tap your shoulder and write in their journal. And all it says is, "We don't have a soul. Are you sure this is what you want to do?"
I shake my head and I say, it's what she wants. It's not what I want at this point. No,
The
I don't
nameless
want
one
this.
just kind of writes down in the journal, if a soul is to be offered, I hate to say it, but I have nothing left in this world.
I'm going to grab your hand over the journal, look to you with a little bit of thanks, but say, that is only a last resort. And it is if we have bargained everything else we could bargain before that.
The nameless one
Especially
writes,
for you who owes nothing to my town.
if it does come to that, at least tell Feline that you guys have given me more than my own tribe has given me, and I am appreciative of that.
The house
Tears
croaks ever still.
The tears start to build up around my eyes again, and I'll say, well, for a second, Esna's conflicted, and will say, I owe this town much of myself, and I could owe it more instead of you.
I will say, there is a form of shivering that you see within the house. I wouldn't call it a quivering of joy, but it's as close to that as you could get for an inanimate object. There are probably 6 arms which begin to sprout out from the top of this thing, one of which punches the ground right in front of you and just kind of cleaves forth a deep path leading up to the stone walkway that leads into the house. You now have this defined trench just kind of like digging forth your path. Alongside that, you see 5 other arms just kind of coalescing around you, licking at the sides, each one having kind of tendrils that kind of branch off of the wrists. The fingers just kind of ever twitching and just kind of quivering, kind of backhanding the air next to your guys' cheeks, near your kind of like torso, kind of just stroking the air around you. It is in high anticipation of something. They're not touching you, but they're just emanatingly floating around you.
I'll look to this and say loud enough just for the friends around me. She's wise enough to know that if she were to grab me right now, the bargain would not be struck. We have to go of our own accord.
The
Is
nameless
everyone
one
ready?
writes down in the journal. She's also wise enough to know that if the bargain is struck by us entering of our own free will, that it must be paid.
Yeah.
Life keeps forcing hard choices.
Almost interrupting. Okay, I didn't say that.
Yeah, they'll float on the wind. Why not?
He's like, I am listening.
You guys move forward, the trench kind of slowly digging itself back inwards behind you, collapsing to reform the break into the earth. You guys will eventually make it to the front of the house. This ever quivering mass, the teeth just kind of on the sides, kind of resting. Would you guys like to step through?
Before stepping through, the nameless one just kind of hands over to the vicar the 2 engagement rings that she has on her person. She'll just hand them over to the vicar and then just nod.
That's sad. Okay. can't give anything back to you. Alright, go inside.
Walk inside.
We enter back into the oldest house. You guys will step out of this door. The lady is no longer sitting down. In fact, there is no lady. There's also no old man. He's gone. She's over in this corner. She looks much larger. That's not what you actually see, though. What you see is a. Has anyone here been watching Sandman?
No.
There's a scene with Azazel in the second season. Like, I want you to imagine that. There's an ever-shifting amalgam of teeth and mouths. The arms are erupting from the body chaotically. There is almost no form that you can really see. It's non-Euclidean. It's organic. It defies reasoning. This massive creature begins to sprout giant's wings, its arms lifting at probably 100 feet in the air. You see kind of one of its massive mouths open, a tongue stretching out, a lady kind of attached to it, or what you could possibly conceive as a lady. It is a bastardization to the idea itself. This form slowly drapes probably 80-90 feet as it lifts in the air, probably right about here and above you.
Hello. Have you brought me my meal? My soul? The deal was struck. You got your gift. You can restore your town. But have you gotten what is mine?
There's a smile which stretches incredibly wide. It is wide enough to probably cover, what, say 30 feet?
No.
She ever still just kind of drapes in front of you. In anticipation. Her head snapping to the side, her eyes turning white.
I will face her with the last of that righteous, dauntless energy that I had in the fight, and put on a face of curiosity as I say, I don't think I need to answer that question because I believe you already have your answer. You know exactly where you sent us, didn't you?
Don't know what you're talking about. Perhaps. But you arrive nonetheless.
There's a pause. The smile kind of stops smiling, and then it goes straight. You see the lady on the tongue slowly turn around opposite to you. There is a... There is a man that begins to kind of laugh coming from the shadows, ever dancing, as he kind of like looks towards her. I've completed your task. Please, release me. This man looks towards her. His eyes are bleeding, his mouth profusely dripping black fluids, him ever dancing. You see his feet bloodied. She looks towards him.
You've completed nothing. You deserve what you get.
You see his mouth open, his tongue like fall out, his teeth slowly begin to wither, his legs begin to crumble. She grabs his face with one of her ever-extending appendages, and then very briefly you see like a little bit of a squeeze. His body bursts into an explosion of blood. It falls upon the ground, and it coats the area in soon-to-be scarlet flowers. You see her slowly turn back to you and smile.
It seems the debt wasn't paid, but that is fine. In fact, that works perfectly. We can make another deal, another game. How about this? I can't say what, but But there's a thing that I need you to complete. Should you do it, you'll be clear of your debt. Would you be open to this deal, bird?
My fluffy ears sort of perk to this as some of my assumptions have come to fruition here, and I'll consider everything that she says and say,
I get tripped up today so much. Oh, God.
I would assume a being like you would have great distaste in losing games, and I am not opposed to starting another game with you, I see, as it would make a visit with you far more important.
There's no new game, bird. The one played is still being played. Should you not do this, I will wipe you all from existence.
You see her grow. Let me grab you. Even larger.
Then name this next move. And no, I have not agreed to it just yet. I wish to listen.
I want you to house sit.
She smiles at you very kindly. This tiny baby.
Where and for how long and when?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. I would like this to stay upon your person until the deed is complete. And that will be whenever I have gained that little black book that has been promised to me. Should I reveal some of my requirements on my end, I want you to house sit. I want you to show me the world. Should you desire to ever travel 100 miles anywhere, you should not travel 100 miles. You must use my abode, even if to travel slightly further. This will accompany you. And should you wish to travel far distances, you may use it. I promise it means you no harm directly. This is my gift to you, and a prize to me, should it be abided. With that, everything will be expunged. Use this house of mine for your services, whatever you need. Travel to the far reaches of places you discover, or simply live within it. It matters not to me.
Oh my god, Ty, you're so fucking smart. Shut up.
Yeah, this is about,
I'm
this is about
starting to
Yaga.
feel like the thing that we earned is not necessarily a boon.
It is. It isn't.
She points behind you and then kind of offers her hand.
This house can triple in size. It can accommodate any needs you shall have. If you want multiple beds, if you want a place for safety, should any creatures try to find you, the house itself won't like that very much. It can warp in between the Fey realm and the mortal realm to a place which you control. One of my favorite little tricks. In fact, it shall turn invisible to those who do not deserve to see it. Only those who know about you and know of its location might even glean a chance of spotting it.
Isna's eyes will narrow and they will speak in Fey towards her and say, "This is indeed a gift, and so I ask, this is indeed a gift and a great burden, many openings to have to keep my eye upon. What is it, be it I understand it or not, that you are gaining from this?"
She laughs.
That's not a part of our deal, bird.
And I have not struck a deal just yet.
Well, you could strike a deal or I can kill you.
You need us for something. You need us for something. The energy you would expend to kill us, although very small energy, would be a nuisance than what we could offer you.
You see her eye twitch. She very much will twitch an eye at this. Her smile will just fade down. You see a frustration as she crushes one of her hands.
If I tell you, you'll accept the deal?
Oh, I don't know if I like that. Pause with this.
She has a stern eye. The last time you made a deal here did not end up so well. There's many things you could have asked of you. This seems light. Then again, the last thing that you fucking did seemed pretty light, so...
Yeah, no, it doesn't seem light. Well, yeah,
compared to what it could be.
I will take pause, because I did say, tell me anything, whether I understand it or not. I don't want her to break me. So, I will take a moment and say, tell me all of the conditions of this agreement, and then I will take the deal.
Her agreement to you, or her agreement with something else?
I'm not going to answer that directly. Let me finish what I was saying first. I will say,
sure.
I want to know in what ways I can understand that I am paying my debt to you.
I was about to speak in a whole different language. All right. Okay.
And then begrudgingly, I'll hold out my hand and then I'll smile to her and kind of tilt my head and say, and this is with full interest of expecting another visit, as I wish to continue to play this game, and I want to stay a favorable visitor to you.
You see her pause and smile.
I mean no deeper offense than to be rid of tricks. Although that is both of our natures.
She will smile and then cheekily say,
There's nothing more that I would like than to be friends with the likes of you, bird.
There's a duplicitous meaning, a double for sure, for what she is actually saying. She's not lying. She is very serious.
All right. Forthright, I shall be. I am limited, bird. I have been here for millennia. I long to experience the world.
Not limited to the facets which I experience the things that I do. And for that, I need mediums. I need you.
Double meaning. She's being truthful. She's lying by omission to some extent. But she's technically telling the truth.
What I need you to do is to use my house so I could survey the land, so I could understand how humans work, so I could understand the world outside the Fae to a more intimate degree. I will reside mentally. You could see the house as my eyes. I can not directly affect necessarily the creatures that reside within the house, but I can allow the house to have safe passage. I control where it goes. And your successes are my successes. I currently have no ill will towards your goals, and I want you to use this how you see fit. Eventually, this knowledge will be very, very well good to me. Your involvement will be very, very well good to me. And eventually, I might have some way that I can explore this world outside of the Feywild.
There is
Esna will-
multitudinous forms of duplicity. She is technically telling the truth.
I figured. She's kind of cornered into it, even if she's being careful with her words. Esna will nod with her hand still out and speak back in English, saying, am I not but a bridge between the Fae and the human realm, after all, by nature? And I will agree to this deal.
You'll see multitudinous olive branches slowly lower to the sides of all of us. She will walk up to you, and you see an olive branch run in between you and her. She'll grab one end of it.
Would you like to seal our deal? Grasp atop the branch.
Do this for me, and your debt is paid.
I take the branch.
You find that the branch swirls around your arm like a snake and then slowly burns until it's nothing but ash. There is a spiral which runs up the length of your arm as if soot is lining like paint. This is now permanently upon you until the deal is completed.
Ooh.
Very nice. Well, what would you like of me? Or rather, what would you like of the house? You now have what you desire. A way to get back to where you'd like. And more specifically, when. The house is anchored to the relativistic time of your people. Time is a flat circle to some, you see.
Okay, Ty, tell me if Arbiter, if I have to use a charm dice, if I have to use a charm dice, tell me if I word this correctly. I'm going to say, well, first of all, before I say anything, I will ask her, what name shall I call you by? Mistress, Master of the House.
It seems that most of your folk like to call me the Lady of the House, and indeed, I am somewhat of that. To tell you my name would break your very minds. You may call me the Headmistress. Or the Lady, if you prefer to be like other mortals. Really doesn't matter anyway. I have probably 400 titles by now.
The nameless one just writes down the journal and throws it up. I can't call you by anything, unfortunately.
Oh.
She'll smile in your direction.
Well, Headmistress, where we desire to go next is, I'll say the town's name, and I'll say specifically seconds after we had entered your house for the second time.
She'll smile.
And I'll say back in the graveyards by the tree stump.
She will smile and she will usher her hands to the door. You'll see kind of like her grasp at like, it looks to be a knob. She's not grabbing anything, but she slowly turns her head to the side. You'll see the windows, the glare within it change to a multitude of different areas, different time zones, all of which line up kind of like a slot machine, showcasing the graveyard. The door slowly opening. Very Howl's Moving Castle-esque.
The nameless one wants to write something down in her journal now that she's tested the theory of them being able to read. Clearly they are. The nameless one writes down, your people and my people have both been hunted by humans, potentially without reason, just out of them being scared of something that's a change. How do you feel on this?
Oh no.
She pauses for a second, kind of rolls her eyes back as she kind of like looks towards the moon, and then looks back towards you.
Have you seen the person that walked in just a second ago? Mortals here have no control over anything. In fact, they fear us, and they try to keep us here. They seek to control what they can't understand. Anyone who steps beyond this boundary, you could consider them a lost cause. Most cannot escape this place, for they seek to. Should a Fae ever release from this plane over a pop of the mortal coil, I'm sure your stories tell great tell of it. Even our Sylvanati can attest to it. The supposed havoc they reach, the fear that they generate. Sure, they may try to hunt us upon their plane of existence if they can try. They have no power here.
We hunt them.
The nameless one writes down in the journal again. So you have no animosity towards humans in general?
Do you ever look at an ant and think about what it thinks at a daily basis? I would invite you to comprehend the insignificance that I perceive you to be.
I write characters with that perspective so much to know.
The nameless one just nods in understanding.
Yeah, Esna's gonna step towards the door and look to the others to follow and say, thank you, headmistress.
I'll walk
Go well with yours.
The expanse within the house begins to enlarge, and you see the white light begin to kind of pale. You can now kind of see through it. It is not opaque anymore. Its opacity has shifted. You see an open interior. What do you like? What, like, conceivably, who's stepping through first?
More than likely Esna.
Esna, tell me your ideal of like a very suitable house. A place to be. What gives you comfort? What's the aesthetic of this area?
Ooh, can I play around with you on this?
For sure.
It's going to be a cathedral, but make it no forest.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, no, for fucking sure. I think like the closest thing that I could kind of compare to this would probably be the interior of like Warhammer 40k elongated cathedral-esque structures of an interior, iron spires. There's a lot of greenery, tons of areas which kind of are destined for just like, here's a series of potted plants, things that very like feng shui-esque, roots kind of adorning the wall, sprouting flowers. The floor is very, very organic, kind of like a pathway leading to a bunch of different types of areas, both nature and humanity kind of melding together seamlessly with this etched, refined Gothic stone, and very kind forms of familiar nature. Who's stepping in next?
I will.
Jacob, what do you perceive your dream house to be? An interior which calls to you?
Bud? It's gotta be my home from fucking town. Not Rhodes, but the town beforehand.
Indeed.
Everton. Gotta be my family home.
You find that as soon as you step through the door, the aromatic nature of the just atmosphere begins to change. The aroma is of cherries. It's of freshly cut wood. It is just the smell of slight metal mixed with just like newly fresh cut grass. You step through, the lawn that is kind of in front of you begins to be paved, very rustic forms of wood which begins to kind of build upon the floor. You look to your left, you look to the right, the kind of candelabras begin to kind of shift into nice torches, strong and robust. The expanse to the left is kind of like a room, very, very simple, but honest. Within that room, you see a familiar bed. It is almost picturesque, as if Lorelei's room was kind of merged with your own. A tiny space with a dresser of a drawer, blue slip right beside it, very iconic of your wife, who would often try to stuff her letters within. There's a little bit of home in every single nook and cranny of this specific room, as if it's built for you. You can move around and you'll see these tables which begin to generate. The same table that you sat at whenever you looked to your left and then you saw the blood stain against your neighbor's house. This same living room that you had almost replicated within the dining room. Who's stepping through next?
I shall.
I assume
next.
I assume I get drugged through next.
I'm gonna be dragging. I'm gonna be dragging.
Oh yeah, so I go last because both of you guys are dragging me.
Yeah.
Technically, yeah.
Send me into the past here. Tell me about what you perceive. What is your machination?
So I guess that would be the shared living space of Lucian and Ashka. There's a fire in the center of the room, even though the room is in kind of more of a draggy, I guess cobble structure, if that makes sense. However, this draggy cobble structure is definitely like more embellished than like, you know, the rest of the abodes. In that room, they would have kind of a pot on the fire, obviously filled with like, you know, human remains for cooking. That kind of thing. So, and just like overall hunt, like, you know, retrievals and stuff like that. And then also little knickknacks from their little journeys. So like, you know, maybe like an arrowhead or something like that, or like, you know, an ancient, like, you know, tapestry from a human town that was long forgotten. Stuff like that would be decorated around the room.
It's like an ornate, regal museum that is hearkening to the kind of heart of man, this cobblestone form of structure. Honest wood. Indeed. And now, for the last one, I'm curious. Paint me a picture.
It would be rough wood flooring, the walls drab, cobwebs hanging from the corners, but not overly so. All the furniture would be made out of lower end wood, all of it chipped or marred. But in anywhere that there would be a chair, it would be a faded red and a little overstuffed and quite a bit lumpy. But the house the walls would be solid enough to echo the sounds of a violin off them solidly.
Ever-present hum of music. This is nice. This is warm. Warm is what you could describe this whole entire place, as it maps itself to every bit of your desires, your yearnings for some form of home. The world has become quite bitter. And in a strange way, this seems like a form of respite, even being here for a second. The idea and the prospect that this will now reside with all of you, an aspect of yourselves permanently here, it brings a form of calm. And this will maintain any time that you will arrive here. The house will expand and shift to your needs. Should you need to store anything, manifestations of these pasts will manifest before you to help you suit your needs, your goals. The door closes ever so slowly. You don't hear a creak, for your machinations have mended any form of deterioration. The curiosity as to why most of the houses were disheveled in such ways, it's very clear that the headmistress she has control over how the houses look. Crazily enough, they are how they are. But you guys have created a thing of beauty. And with that, you transfer back to the graveyard. And from there, we shall pick up next time on Harvest.
Oh man.
That's fucking insane. This session was insane.
I'm not sure
so
if
much
this is a
plan.
gift or a curse to
Right.
We'll figure that out later. We don't need to figure that out now.